There's several reasons why you should consider postgrad qualifications. It can improve your employment prospects. It can help you specialise in a certain area. Or if you're unsure of what you want to do, it means you can stay in education longer and get further qualifications. For example, an arts degree is a wonderful choice for lots of students, because if they don't know what they want to do, it means that their options are still, the range of options is still wide open. But then when it comes to the end of the arts degree, it really is necessary to do a postgrad. I mean, there's, I think, over 1,400 different subjects, that you can do a postgrad qualification in. So it's really, really important at this stage often, that you have guidance in where you're going to go. A postgrad session, for example, you could look at personality profiling. Psychometric testing generally wouldn't be of much use because you know what they've studied. But even just to help the student make informed decisions as to where they'd like to go or what area they'd like to specialise in, it can be of huge use.
I think that postgraduate courses nowadays have perhaps, or what graduate courses were about 20 years ago, they are invaluable to you realising your ability to get the best possible salary and optimising your future prospects. I think a lot of people, do graduate courses and perhaps they think that it's the end of the line and they're somewhat fatigued by the whole education process. But we would obviously be trying to encourage them to try and fulfil the educational components as early as possible in their career, because this ultimately makes it a lot easier later on down the line. It's very important, I think, in today's market that you make yourself as marketable as possible.
Choosing a postgraduate course allows you to immerse yourself in a subject that you love. It allows you to develop at a higher level new skills and new knowledge in terms of a subject. There are a few reasons why people choose to undertake postgraduate degree options. One of them is a passion for their subject. The other is that it potentially could increase your career prospects. The third is that it offers you a better degree of job security. And another would be that in these times it might buffer you to a certain extent in terms of the impact of a recession would have on your career prospects. And also that it potentially can give you an option, or it might increase your salary potential as well. But postgraduate study is generally the peak of skills and knowledge attainment that a person can achieve. It is during a career guidance session, if a person was coming to you wishing to explore the option of postgraduate study, you would look at choosing a course or choosing a discipline that is best suited to that person, taking into consideration the commitments that a postgraduate study involves in terms of a person's time, in terms of their financial situation, the format of their learning, whether it be full-time or part-time, but also the impact that it has on a person's life. But there is no doubt that undertaking a postgraduate study is a tremendous opportunity for people, and it will enrich a person's learning and will develop their career prospects at another level.
Well, I think in an ideal world, when you're dealing with graduates, you would typically be pointing them in the direction of employment opportunities and focusing. Unfortunately, the reality is that a lot of graduates are qualifying in areas perhaps in which they don't have a lot of interest. Sometimes for various reasons, their friends have chosen the course, they've got sufficient points to get into the course and they don't exactly exhibit a passion for it. They have, gone down a path which perhaps they're not particularly happy with. So a postgraduate opportunity allows them perhaps to get better back on track. It allows them to combine their graduate qualification with a more specific qualification in the area, and ensures that their job prospects, when they finally complete the education process, are optimised to the best of their ability. A lot of the process is similar to perhaps an earlier level. You are sitting down with a candidate, you're going over interest profiles, aptitude tests, etc. and you're trying to determine how they can get from their current situation to where they ultimately want to be. And of course, if you do a postgraduate course, a lot of them only last maybe 1 to 2 years. So it gives the candidate a wonderful opportunity to maybe secure an employment opportunity 6 months down into the course. And of course, it's my role to ensure that the candidate picks the correct course and optimises their job prospects in the future.
One of the most important questions that a person needs to ask when thinking about undertaking postgraduate study is, what is the best course for them? And generally, through the help of a career guidance counsellor, we would explore a person's motivation for wanting to undertake a graduate study. But also, one of the main issues that people would need to consider when deciding upon postgraduate study is whether they have an interest in the subject, whether they have a passion for it, whether they have a love for it. And because all of those things will be needed, because postgraduate study will be an enormous commitment to a person. So they will need to have that foundation of interest in terms of committing themselves full-time to a postgraduate study.
In a session with a postgraduate student, employment prospects are of huge importance. Whereas in a session, we'll say with a second level student, you're really not looking that far kind of down the road. For a postgrad, for example, if they've done a business degree, it's going to be essential before they'd even be called for interview probably that they go on and do a master's. But in certain other career areas, a few years job experience is a far more benefit. So it's important to look at that, what career area they intend going into, and whether really work experience is what's needed or further qualifications.
The whole process of career guidance would be trying to evaluate how you could reach your ultimate goal while still meeting your current commitments. I don't think it really is never too late to go back into education.